At lunch today, I did an order for sushi with Uber Eats from a restaurant nearby. And I finished the order and left it, and only to find, when I came back to my phone 30 minutes later, that the restaurant had cancelled the order. So my family was then running late. But I did have a look again, and I estimated I can still get another order in and have that delivered in time. So I did that. And a few minutes later, I got another message saying that my order was cancelled again. So I was a bit miffed. I gave up and I just quickly cooked some eggs and noodles, and we had that and we packed up to leave for the afternoon. As we were about to leave, a sushi order arrived. Now I'm really annoyed and thinking, what a mess up, either with the platform or with the restaurant. Since we had to leave, I couldn't send a complaint straight away, but I was already drafting a nasty complaint in my head as I drove off. So later, when I did have a chance to check the app at the transactions, turns out that only the first order was cancelled. The second order was all normal. It just looks like the second order was cancelled because a confirmation came through for the cancellation of the first order after I finished rushing and doing the second order. So if I had checked the cancellation message, I would have realized it was for the first order, and I would have seen then the second order was still going and it's about to be and it would be delivered. So it was actually my fault. Now, what is worthwhile, I think, to share with you is the moment when I became aware that something was wrong, and that moment when the delivery arrived. My first reaction is to blame. Is to blame the restaurant for messing it up, or to blame Uber Eats platform for the confusion. Although I'm intellectually aware that it's normal for me, or for any human being to do this, being aware doesn't make that instinct go away. So when problems arise, rarely is the first instinct something rational or fair. First instinct is frustration. Then there's the rush to blame and to find an external cause for my irritation. It's not my fault. That's a reaction I've noticed many times before. It's like a defense mechanism. The world is easier to handle when the problem is somewhere else, right? So the instinct to blame is something for me to keep working on. And how many times have I jumped to conclusions only to later find that I am at least partially responsible? And then that's a humbling thought, and it's not a nice feeling. And it's one that I think is worth sitting on for a while, just to prompt some improvements. I'm sharing this with you because maybe you have some moments like what I had today. Maybe we can work on it together. So there's no harm done this time. I didn't make any complaints, and at least my family still had sushi for dinner, if not for lunch. So some consolation. But I hope my experience is useful for you as well. And thanks for listening.